Hey everybody, Aaron here. So, with the holidays fast approaching, tomorrow being Thanksgiving and Friday being Black Friday, which some people think of as a holiday nowadays, which is kind of worrisome. But, it's a weekend that is going to be very chaotic for a lot of us. And, even for myself, I'm going to be very busy with this weekend. And I hope you guys understand that I might not have a lot of reviews up in general. I will try my best to have, the anime reviews on Saturday, but I don't know off the top of my head if I'll be able to do that. I'll try, don't get me wrong, but especially tomorrow, like Inuyashiki and all that stuff, I don't expect it tomorrow. I'm more worried about hanging with my family, who I've not seen really a lot of because they've been working and been dealing with various things themselves. So, reviews will be put aside for the time being. And I know I promised, I think earlier this week that I forgot all about it, but I said that I'd try to get everything back on schedule, and I realized, oh wait, this week's the holidays. So I do apologize for that, but at the same time, I think many of you will understand and kind of forgive me for that. But anyways, besides even that, I was talking to my good friend Lita Kino, who I will leave a link because I'm mentioning her in this video alone. I'll leave a link to her channel in the description box below, so definitely check her out. We were talking about something, and it kind of just gave me an inspiration to do a video like this because it's something that I wanted to do for a while, but I have not done in a while, and I also feel like this is the perfect time to do this. So, as many of you guys know, unless you play horribly ignorant to the world around you, which, trust me, guys and girls, I know some people that are very ignorant. I'll tell you right now, I'll tell you my ex was one of the people that she used to play ignorant to everything happening around her. I'm not trying to aim, daggers at her right now. I'm just trying to say, like, that's a scary reality of some people. Like, if it's not a certain topic, they don't care about it. And I always tell people that are like that, even her, I used to tell her, it might not affect you directly, but at the same time, it will influence the world around you. And the best example, for example, is the sexual harassment charges on all these famous actors, spokespeople, idols that people have loved for a long time. It baffles me and amazes me that these are horrible allegations happening to these people, and they're all true. Besides maybe one or two of them, these are all true things that are happening, and it's stuff that they're admitting blatantly that they did. And they think, oh, because now I have star fame where it only happened 30 years ago, it's not a big deal. It's a horrible idea. It happened. Even if it happened 30 years ago when you were at, your youngest level, it doesn't give you carte blanche to do that. And even more so, you should now have to, guess what, face the consequences of that. That happened in your past. Your past is still a part of you, whether you like it or not. And, that's just one of the small things that are happening. You have killings, you have murders, you have these school shootings, which are happening even more rampant than they were last year. It's amazing because it's just how horrible the things that are people going through this year. It almost seems like it's worse than last year, but I'll tell you guys, girls, right now, the realistic truth behind it is every year has its horrible atrocities that happen to the human race in general. We only hear a tip of the iceberg with a lot of them because obviously there are different countries that have horrible grievous actions that are happening with them right now, and unless you actually are a worldly type of person, you won't hear about these stories. You won't even care for them in the newspaper. You only care about your backdoor, which I don't blame a lot of people. You can't worry about everyone, obviously. You can't worry about, the world in general. You have to worry about yourself first and foremost. But as I tell people, don't play too ignorant because these are things that do change the human society as a whole. And it might not happen tomorrow. It might not happen 10 years from now, 20 years from now. It might not happen in your children's time, but it eventually will. And that's why it's important to pay attention to certain things and to realize that these are some horrible times that we're living in too, with some things that are happening. So make sure to always, one thing I think that everyone's learning from the sexual harassment stuff is don't be quiet about things that are happening to you. Voice your concerns, voice the things that happen to you, and tell the people that you need to tell, the authorities, parents, teachers, etc. And don't be afraid to. But with that aside, Thanksgiving, it almost seems like, yeah, because of the concept of being thankful for what you have, it seems very hard at this time to be thankful for a lot of things because of all the horrible things that are happening in our lives. But I'll tell you guys and girls right now, and I'm gonna try to make this video from here on out to be very personal, to be not just like I'm talking to everyone, because I know I am obviously talking to a lot of people, but what I consider a lot of people, but I want this to be like I'm talking to you directly. So from here on out, I'm going to use that adjective more than anything else. I'll be saying you and etc. But, I know that you may be dealing with a lot of things in your life. You may have had some loss. You may have had someone hurt. You may have had a breakup that might have affected you. You might have had some failings at school or something. And you might think that right now at the pinnacle of your moments, it's the worst thing, that you can't deal with this, that this is the worst time of your life. But this is the time where a strong person, a strong man will realize, and woman for that matter, will realize that this is what shapes you to become a stronger person. That as long as you don't give up, as long as you push yourself forward, you will become a stronger person, and you will be able to deal with even worse things. And I hate to say it, because life does kind of want to do that. It wants to throw things at you, and it's sometimes baffling how fast things happen to you. But at the same time, you have to understand that you might be thinking, oh man, I'm going through some horrible crap that no one else understands. That's not the case. Trust me, folks, that's really not. You know, it's the realism that there are people around you that might be going through the same things that you're going through, or even 10 times worse than what you're going through. And I know it seems almost cliche to say, oh, you know, what you're going through is nothing in comparison to someone else, because it's hard to understand. It's hard to focus on someone else when you're being the one that's right now dealing with all this. But I want you to understand that this is the time where a strong person will have to go and think, this is what makes me enjoy the best of things that I have in my life. This is where being thankful for everything you do have, the good and even sometimes the bad, they have shaped you into the person that you are, and they have shaped you to become a stronger person, a stronger individual in general. You know, I will say right now that I have gone through a lot of stuff this year. I know you have as well. But what we have to do as humans in general, and as strong people, is we have to take the negatives that we've gone through and make them positives, to realize that, hey, we've learned from what happened to us. We've understood that we can now empathize with other people that have had these problems too, and use them to make us stronger as an individual. And it might seem hard, like, how can you do that? You know, how can you take a breakup, for example, or a loss of a life, and make that strong? You take the memories, you take the things that you learned from that, you take the realization that people are on this earth for a finite amount of time, and you make yourself stronger with that time, that realization. And you realize going forward that, hey, you know, maybe I should spend more time with my family. Maybe I should realize that, hey, I will find someone better for me out there in the world. Maybe you will realize that as schooling goes, I just need to apply myself more, or I have to do something else for work. Maybe find some better jobs instead of working what I'm doing right now because it's making you miserable. The list goes on, folks. It really does. And I'll say this right now to you guys and girls individually, like I said before, you know, don't give up. Be strong. It seems so hard. It seems like depression seems like a bigger thing than ever. And I know people say depression is not a choice. Yeah, it really is not. A lot of people don't realize that it is a chemical imbalance. It's something that is hereditary sometimes. It's something that could be gained from just nowhere, it seems like. And it's crazy because when it affects you, it really does affect you. Everyone, every single person on the face of planet Earth has a form of depression. It just gets worse with certain people. It gets smaller with certain people. It depends on your lifestyles. It depends on a lot of variants. But everyone gets depressed at times, and you're not alone. That's why you have to realize that, guess what? You're not facing this alone. You're not facing the challenge of life alone. You have people that care for you, and you can just look for them. I know it seems hard because it's like you don't want to tell another soul about the things that maybe you're going through. But at the same time, there are people willing to listen. I'll tell you guys and girls right now, and I never have a problem saying this. I am always someone that, if you really ever have a problem that I can actually help you with in terms of maybe just talking or hearing you talk, I will always be open on Twitter for that. You can DM me. You can even comment on here, and I will talk to you as best as I can. You know, if you keep it personal, that's your business. If you want to keep it private, like I said, Twitter's your best thing with DMs and stuff like that. But you know, I will try my best. Doesn't mean I have answers for everything, mind you. I've only been on this earth 27 years, and I don't have experience with everything yet. But it's something that if I can help you, I will try my best. But you are not alone. You will never be alone truly, unless you decide to, you know, isolate yourself from the world. But even then, you're not technically alone. That's the reality to it. You know, as a God-fearing man myself, God is always with me. I believe that Jesus Christ is always with me. They are part of me. And I know some people are religious, they won't understand that concept, and I'm not trying to put my religion on you because, hey, that's your own goal. But I'm just saying that's why, even when I feel like I'm alone sometimes, or I have those moments where you feel like, wow, who can I talk to? I don't ever feel like that, because I realize I do have people that I can always talk to that are always right there with me. And even if you're not a religious person, there are friends, there are people, your parents. If you don't have parents, there are guidance counselors. There are people around that always are willing to listen. You just have to be open to find those people. But first and foremost, to end this video on a more positive note, because it might seem like it's a depressing note. It's not trying to be, but it's something that you have to come to realization with. you are a strong person because of all the stuff you've dealt with up to now. You really are. You are a person that is a shining individual because you've decided to not give up and to push yourself forward through the kind of pains and stuff that you might be dealing with. And that's what you have to be thankful for, is that you're still here, that you're alive, because other people have not even had the chance to live, died at early ages, and died when they couldn't even try to understand what life is. And I saw that with a story that I don't remember exactly how it played out, but I remember there was like a young boy that died, and you look at it, it's like, here I am, 27 years on this earth, and that kid's only there for 4 years. I've experienced some of the best and worst things of life. He experienced very little of everything, and it's like you then are more grateful for what you have as a human being. That's why, be grateful for what you have. Take this Thanksgiving and take your understanding of everything you've dealt with and everything that you might deal with, but even more so, push that to the side and realize, hey, I'm still here, I'm healthy, I'm happy. Or even if you're not healthy per se, you're still alive. For this moment, you're alive, and that means that you have infinite possibilities ahead of you. You can do other things. You can try to fight for a better life, or at least enjoy what you have. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of variance to everything when it comes to that, but that's what you have to realize. You have to be thankful for whatever you have, even if it's a small little amount, even if it's like, oh, I have one friend, or I have a cat or a dog that really is close to you. Be thankful, because that person or that animal is with you. It's that simple, folks. And you know, I will always say that, guess what? You know, one thing about one of the big things I'm always thankful for is being able to talk with all of you guys and girls like this. You know, it's something that I've always wanted to talk to certain people about, the thoughts that go on when it comes to like stuff like this, and it's YouTube in general has kind of given me that outing so I can now do that, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. I mean, I know sometimes, you know, it might seem like I'm a little bit preachy. I've been told that before. I'm preachy. It's okay. It's like, I get that, but you know, I just want to talk to people and make them happy, and that's what I'm trying to do with all my reviews, with all my videos in general. And if I accomplish that, then I'm doing that. And if I can give you some advice, I'm doing a good job. If I can give you entertainment, yeah, I'm doing a good job still too. It's a lot of things that I'm happy for. So that's what I'm saying, is that, guys and girls, be thankful for what you have. Be happy that you have it, because I'm telling you right now, someone around you might be dealing with a lot worse and you won't see it, and it sucks, and you have to realize as a person that you should empathize or sympathize with that person at the best, but realize also that their weakness or their issues that they're dealing with, in comparison to you, it could be 10 times worse. It could be equal, it could be less, whatever. But it's the thing is that that's why you have to realize, hey, I'm thankful for where I'm at today, no matter what. I'm thankful for what I've made for myself. I'm thankful for who I am, good and bad. That's what you have to do with it. You have to take both of them. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, I'm sorry if it went out a little too long, but that was kind of the point. I will see you guys as soon as I can. Like I said, I'll try to put videos out probably Saturday. Not 100% sure yet, but I'll try. Anyways, God bless you all. I love you all, seriously. You guys are amazing. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. See you later. Bye-bye.